There's been a lot of buzz around HBO Max recently. Some of it is good, and some of it not so much. Is HBO Max still worth it? Stay tuned to find out. Alright, so first let's go over the basics for what you need to know about HBO Max. Now, for the uninitiated, HBO Max is, of course, the streaming service from Warner Media, which is now a part of the company Warner Brothers Discovery. You'll get thousands of great movies and TV shows, including originals. HBO Max currently offers two plans for their subscribers. The first is HBO Max with ads. That includes limited advertising on certain shows. That is either $9.99 per month or $99.99 for an entire year. You can also get HBO Max ad-free. That also gives you the option for offline downloads and 4K streaming for $14.99 a month or $149.99 per year. Right now, HBO Max does not offer a free trial. However, if you want to learn about some discounts, stay tuned to the end of the video when I'll go over some ways to save money on HBO Max. Now, as for the advertising on HBO Max, that cheaper plan at $9.99 per month only features a maximum of 4 minutes of ads per hour. This is actually a lot less intrusive than some of their competitors like Hulu. When surveyed, HBO Max customers indicated that they were the least annoyed by HBO Max compared to the other streaming services with advertising. And if you're confused about the difference between HBO and HBO Max, just remember this. HBO is the cable channel that's been around since the 80s that you can get as a premium add-on to a cable package. HBO Max is the streaming service that's offered by the same parent company as HBO. With HBO Max, you'll get the same shows and movies that you would get on HBO, but you also get additional shows and movies that are only on HBO Max. If you get HBO as a channel with your cable package, you will be able to get HBO Max at no extra cost. And I'll have a link down in the description to an article that goes through all those details. Now, before we go any further, I think there's something I need to address. What's that noise? Could it be the elephant in the room? Now, if you've paid attention to any kind of entertainment media or just the buzz on Twitter recently, you'll see that there were a lot of shows canceled by HBO Max, some of which were taken off completely without warning. The most controversial thing that happened would probably be the Batgirl movie that was set to debut as an HBO Max original film. It was almost finished, and they had even begun test screenings. It cost over $90 million to produce, and they have completely shelved this movie, opting to receive a tax write-off instead. The reason for these cancellations and the shelving of movies like Batgirl all stems down to one thing. Next year, HBO Max and Discovery Plus are set to merge into one streaming service after their parent companies merged together earlier this year. The CEO of this newly combined company, David Zaslav, is going through the entire company with a fine-tooth comb, finding any possible cost-cutting measures he can take. This is all a part of a realignment of their operations that you normally see when companies consolidate together. Now, as additional changes happen over the next year, I'll be covering those on this YouTube channel and also on my website at shallistreamit.com. But for now, I'm going to focus on HBO Max as it exists at the time I'm recording this video, in August of 2022. So next, let's get on to what's on HBO Max. Now, Warner Brothers Discovery, which is the company, again, that owns HBO Max, has an embarrassment of riches when it comes to characters and franchises they have access to. They're really the only company besides Disney that has so much IP. This includes DC Comics, Looney Tunes, Cartoon Network, Harry Potter, The Matrix, Scooby-Doo, Game of Thrones, among others. They filled HBO Max's library with content from these franchises, as well as beloved TV shows and movies from throughout Hollywood history. As Netflix has shifted away from acquired programming and moved towards a service that is mostly Netflix originals, this impressive back catalog on HBO Max really stands out even more. Here are some of the highlights. Now, of course, you'll get the shows and movies from HBO. That includes everything from Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, Westworld, Euphoria, The Rehearsal with Nathan Fielder, Barry, Sex and the City, all of those shows that longtime fans of HBO know and love. You'll also get HBO Max Originals. Now, some of the HBO Max Originals that weren't as popular have been on the chopping block in particular, and there are rumors that more cuts are on the way. My recommendation would be, if you want to watch some of these shows, do it soon. However, we do have confirmation from a trailer that HBO Max came out with recently that several of these shows will be going into additional seasons within the next year. Those include Hacks, Our Flag Means Death, Tokyo Vice, and Just Like That, Julia, and The Minx. Now, if you're a fan of DC Comics, HBO Max is a no-brainer when it comes to becoming a subscriber. Just like Disney owns the rights to Marvel, Warner Bros. Discovery owns the rights to DC Comics. You'll see live action and animated movies and TV shows featuring characters like Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, or Superman, as well as the other members of the Justice League. As for the back catalog, HBO Max is one of the best streaming services for movie lovers, period. If it's recent blockbusters you're after, Warner Bros. Has put almost all of their recent theatrical releases on HBO Max. Now, it's not quite the same as it was in 2021, where they came out in theaters and on HBO Max on the same day, but it's a safe assumption that if something is made by Warner Brothers, eventually it'll wind its way to HBO Max. For classic films from every era, Turner Classic Movies has a curated selection, and there's several big TV shows that you will only find on HBO Max. And finally, they do have a fair amount of kids and family content, although when it comes to those cuts that I mentioned earlier, they have put the brakes on some of these shows. You'll find kids programming featuring characters from Sesame Street, which HBO Max gains the streaming rights to from PBS, Looney Tunes, classic cartoon characters like Scooby-Doo, and also the Cartoon Network. As for the HBO Max app, this has seen significant improvements over time. When HBO Max first launched in 2020, the app was glitchy and had a bunch of problems. The good news is, since then, with software updates, they have seen significant improvements. Now watching HBO Max is a simple, user-friendly experience, free from technical errors, at least for the most part. You can watch HBO Max from 3 devices at a time. You can have up to 5 profiles per account. They allow for offline downloads with the ad-free plan. They have parental controls to restrict what your kids can see, video streams in up to 4K resolution for select titles with the ad-free plan, and certain titles on the ad-free plan are also eligible for 5.1 surround sound and Dolby Atmos. Certain TV shows have a shuffle button, so you can watch an episode at random, and you can watch HBO Max with friends over a FaceTime call with a feature called SharePlay. Now, one of the things that I really like about the HBO Max app is the app interface itself. They do things that are just more creative and visual than other streaming services. Navigating through the menus, you'll see large poster-size images of different movies and TV shows, and they do creative things to help you discover new titles. Last October, for example, you had the choice between one of 3 doors in the Halloween section. They were marked not scary at all, scary, or very scary, like in the It movies. Choosing one of these 3 doors each day led you to a different movie or TV show. Now, let's get on to discounts. HBO Max has offered different promotions from time to time. Whenever that happens, I do update my page at shallistreamit.com/deals. So if you want to check that out, make sure to do that. And at the time I'm recording this video, they have a limited time discount on your annual plan where you can save over 40%. Now this goes through October 30th of 2022. And with this deal, you can get HBO Max with ads for just $69.99 per year, or the HBO Max ad-free plan for $104.99 per year. I'll have a link in the description if you want to sign up for that deal. Now, if you're a college student, HBO Max doesn't have a student discount per se. However, certain colleges and universities offer HBO Max as a benefit to their students. Some of these schools include New York University, Missouri State University, and the University of Southern California, you want a full list of the schools, I will also have a link in the description. Now, before HBO Max's parent company merged with Discovery Plus, they used to be owned by AT&T. While those companies are no longer connected together, AT&T does still offer HBO Max as a benefit to certain wireless customers with unlimited plans. AT&T removed this option for new customers, but in August of 2022, they announced plans to bring it back. So, on to my final verdict. Is HBO Max worth it? Now, let me just say, when I made my original review of HBO Max last year, I said it was one of my favorite streaming services, and it still is. The back catalog that you get from HBO Max is incredible. There are movies from throughout the history of cinema that you can watch on here. There are great TV shows, great franchises, and there's plenty to watch no matter who you are or what demographic you come from. My biggest hang-up with HBO Max was for a long time that they did have technical errors and also that they were more expensive than their competitors at launch. Since then, they have largely fixed those technical issues, and they've also introduced a cheaper plan as their competitors have raised their prices. In theory, we should be entering a golden age where HBO Max becomes America's favorite streaming service. However, the merger with Discovery Plus and the cuts that we're seeing on some of their content raise questions about what's ahead. At the time I'm recording this video, HBO Max is an amazing platform for movies and TV shows that is well worth the price of admission. Let's just hope their parent company doesn't try too hard to fix what isn't broken. So, have you tried out HBO Max? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the description down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to this YouTube channel to stay up to date with all things streaming. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you all have a good one. Bye-bye.